Shalom and warm greetings to one and all. Today, this episode, I want to talk about the fruits of the Spirit. Fruits of the Spirit. And I'm going to, recite some verses for you. Hey, let's give it a go. Okay. The fruits of the Spirit consist of 9 attributes that are essential to the believer's life. Yeshua Messiah lived and exhibited each one of these fruits, and believers are called to follow in his example. The greatest of the 9 fruits is love, as revealed in the great love chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Galatians chapter 5, 22 through 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. There's no law at all. Now, we're going to go to the first one. First one is love. It's plain and simple love. That's a very essential part of this, and right here I'm going to say, thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. That's that's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Another example here. You have heard it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 43 through 44. It's very essential, you can't sink down to the level of hating, being like your enemy, hating your enemy. You got to love your enemy. You got to pray for him. You got to have pity for him. Hopefully they'd change your way. That's all there is to that. We'll go to the other one. This is going to be Matthew 22, verse 36 through 40. Master, which is the greatest commandment of the law? Yeshua said unto him, thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love your neighbor as thyself. Of these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So them are the 2 essential laws, the building blocks of the 10 commandments. All of the 10 commandments. You break one of those, you're either trespassing against your fellow man, or you're sinning against Almighty. Now we're going to go to 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Greatest is love. Not taken away from the other 2, but love is the greatest. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling unto what is good. Romans 12:9. Now, we're going to go to the second one. We'll go to joy. We'll go to joy. And everybody loves joy, I love joy. I'm sure you do. Joyful spirit and cheerful. And the Psalm 33, verse 21 says, for our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. There it is, trusted in his holy name. Psalm 119, 162, I rejoice at thy word as one that findeth great spoil. Great spoil. Okay, Matthew 13, verse 44, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in the field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy therefore goeth and selleth all that he has, and buyeth that field. Matthew 28, verse 8, and they departed quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. I'll jump down to Luke chapter 6, verse 22 to 23. Blessed are you when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from the company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil, for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in the day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. Jump over to peace now. Peace is everybody. Everybody strives for peace, but mankind can't find peace. They can't. They don't understand. They want it, but for some reason they just can't do it. Carnal man. They can't find a way to peace. Okay. And have peace one with another. Mark chapter 9, verse 50. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality, without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. That's James chapter 3, verse 17 to 18. And let the peace of Elohim rule in your hearts, to the which also you are called in one body, and be ye thankful. One body, meaning the collective, the assembly, what you guys would call the church. Long-suffering. And the patient in the spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 8. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh of patience. James chapter 1, verse 3. So patience is also a vital key, vital key. So if you exercise patience and don't jump the gun and, like just say open your mouth without thinking about it or anything, you gotta have patience. It's probably real in this world. It's real hard to, maintain, preserve. But anyways, we'll go to Hebrews chapter 10, verse 36. For you have need of patience, that after you have done the will of Elohim, you might receive the promise. James chapter 5, 7 to 8. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the master. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain. Be you also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the master draweth near. So the master his time's coming near. He's going to be back. He's going to be back sooner than a lot of people think, and unexpected, like a thief in the night. Now we'll go to gentleness. And the servant of the master must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patience. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. Okay, we'll go to Titus chapter 3, 1 through 2. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready for every good work, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto man. James chapter 3, verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Oh, excuse me. Okay, now we'll go to goodness. Be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12, verse 21. You don't repay evil for evil. You combat it with the powers of good. And I myself also am persuaded of you, my brethren, that you also are full of goodness, filled with all knowledge, able also to admonish one another. It's Romans chapter 15, verse 14. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good unto them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Matthew 5, verse 44. What the scriptures are telling us, you don't fight evil with evil. You don't stoop down to that level. You pray for them. I know it's real hard to do. It's real hard to, if somebody wrongs you, it's real hard for you to, pray for them and, hope that they see their way, but that's what the scriptures recommends and almost demands, and, when you have the Holy Spirit in you, and it guides you and teaches you and comforts you, it'll lead you in the right direction. Okay. Now we'll go to faith. Faith is a special key in this. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Habakkuk 2:4. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? James 2, verse 20. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works, it's good to have faith, but, you got to do your part and do your works. Not saying, works alone ain't going to get, we got to have faith. They're both, it's like it's a working faith. That's what I would say, working faith. Okay, let's go to Romans chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Certainly not. Yeah, we establish the law. So we don't make void the law. We don't cast it aside or anything. That's a guiding point to how Christians should behave. It's a moral compass for us, it leads us to live the right way. Now we'll go to Galatians chapter 3, verse 11. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Elohim. It is evident, for the just shall live by faith. You got to live by faith in that belief in the blood atonement of Yeshua, what the Father Almighty has given to us, the opportunity of salvation. And he should have gave, you think he should have gave up on mankind a long, long time ago, like with the flood, but he still has that love in him, and, out of everybody who existed, he sees the good in a lot of, the people, the minority of the people that are somewhat good. He sees a potential. Let's see. We go to Romans 16, verse 26. But now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandments of the everlasting Elohim, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. Now we're going to jump down to meekness. The meek shall eat and be satisfied. They shall praise Yahweh that seek him. Your heart shall live forever. That's Psalm 22, verse 26. I would jump up a little bit to Psalm 37, verse 11. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The meek also shall increase their joy in Yahweh, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 19. Now, like with Psalm 37, like I said, now Yeshua said the same thing. So he was also kind of reciting from old scripture, like him and the apostles did, because back then the scriptures was the Old Testament, and they always did refer back to the teachings of the Old Testament and quoted them. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Matthew 5, verse 5. Now we're going to go to temperance. A patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly. Proverbs 14, verse 29. A hot-tempered man stirs up dissension, but a patient man calms a quarrel. Proverbs 15, verse 18. Better a patient man than a warrior, a man who controls his temper than one who takes a city. Proverbs 16:32. Now, Proverbs, I like this one of my favorite books. It's got the greatest, great wisdom in there and great sayings, wisdom, and I love, it's one of my favorite books of the scriptures. Do not make friends with hot-tempered men. Do not associate with one easily angered. Proverbs chapter 22 to 24, or to verse 24. Yeah, it's you get around negative people, negativity usually out trumps the positive attitudes and everything, and they can bring you down. I mean, so in other words, do your best to try to stay away from, either the people or just the attitude and the atmosphere. Let's go to, for this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness, knowledge, and to knowledge, self-control, and to self-control, perseverance, and to perseverance, righteousness. 2 Peter, first chapter, verses 5 through 6. Now we'll go on to the last one here. Giving, that's in this world, giving is kind of almost an extinct species. People just want to get. They think they're entitled, and giving, times it don't cost much. But it does give a lot. I don't know. It just kind of saddens me sometimes when people just think about the get and not get, the selfishness and. But, this world ain't going to last forever, thankfully. Okay, giving. Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willing with his heart, ye shall take my offering. Exodus 25, verse 2. Then we'll go to Exodus 35, verse 5. Take you from among you an offering unto Yahweh. Whosoever is a willing heart, let him bring it, an offering of Yahweh, gold and silver and brass. Matthew 10, verse 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have received, so freely give. That's a blessing, freely, you get the message of the gospel message and everything. It's free that's given to you, so freely give back. Pass the word, with all your heart and all your soul and love, and it's just very important that is relay the message. Now I go to Mark 12, verses 42 to 43. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto his disciples and said to them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast more in than all that which have cast into the treasury. This is the poor widow's mite. And, that's all she had, was just a couple coins. And she put all of it into the treasury for the poor, and just for, she's thinking of other people. She wasn't thinking necessarily of herself. And while you had the rich people like the Pharisees, the Herodians, and them, they cast in whatever they wanted to, a couple coins here and there. When there's, they could have put a heck of a lot more in there, but they didn't. They just said, I'll just put a couple in here and make me look good. I could always go around and brag that I tithe and I give charity and stuff like that. Yeshua is just trying to point out that lesson, and I'm sure the disciples, they caught on to it. They knew what the master was talking about. Now we'll go down to Acts 20, verse 35. Have showed you all things, how that so laboring you ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the sovereign Yeshua, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. It is more blessed than to give to receive in many ways, even ways that you and I don't comprehend right now, but that's just the way it is. Now I'll go to 2 Corinthians chapter 9, 6 through 7. But this I say, he which showeth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which showeth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Every man according as he purposely for his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for Elohim loveth a cheerful giver. So Yahweh loves a person that is really into helping other people and giving, with a cheerful heart, no ulterior motives, no tax breaks, tax credits, at the end of the year, he loves somebody that really loves to help other people. That's plain and simple. Now we'll go to the last verse here. That's 1 John chapter 3, verse 17. But whosoever hath the world's goods and sees his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of Elo in him? So I'm gonna let you guys, think about that last one, and just come up with something. And you can comment below that about anything else, just have a nice little discussion about stuff. If you like this, please like this video. Hit the like button, notification bell, subscribe. In my videos, share all my videos with your friends and everybody. I'll appreciate it very much, But anyways, I just wanted to, point out the fruits, because I just think it's very important, just like a lot of other things in the scripture, that things, needs to be discussed, needs to be studied, the message needs to be passed, This world desperately needs this. They needs this stuff more than ever, because this world is getting really, really awful. I mean, you look at the news and, and the misinformation on the internet, it's insane. I mean, I don't know, but anyways, that's all I've got to say right now. And thank you again. Until we meet again, shalom, one and all.